today I will talk about our journey, introducing our CI public clouds, a few different clouds, and a little about me. So I am working at Codeline, and we're doing networking SDN stuffs, and mostly we creating value. Before it was very famous from today talks, but as you know, everyone, value is most important in IT now. No servers, only value. So about some background, we work in our team about one project, about some SDN that was kind of hybrid and multi-cloud project. And we're doing a lot of code that mostly doing some deployment stuff. So connecting different clouds together. And of course, like every project, there is some proof of concept. There was some development part, development time. And our code grows and grows and grows. And that's why we decided that we need CI's continuous integration system and test everything, because we don't want to break anything doing some new features. That's why we decided to start working on our CI. And this is background, and we will back soon to this. But Benjamin Franklin says that everything what we should expect always, it's def and tax. Now I would add bugs, and today probably I would add cloud native bugs, because everything is now want to be cloud native, even bugs. So, and how we work with the bugs? Of course, we reduce bugs, creating unit tests, code review, integrate tests, and of course continuous integration. But we still, I don't know, probably we can figure out a few more points, and we still have bugs, because bugs are here and there will be always. Continuous integration. So what continuous integration can give us? Of course, it's automation, build and tests. So it's reduce regression problem, and regression problems reduce deployment time, development time, and of course we have more time for features. But continuous integration is just different code. Like test code, pipeline is code, building code, everything is code. And of course, everyone knows code has bugs. So what could be scary more than automation with the bugs? And now we're going back to our journey to the public clouds. Of course, automation with the bugs and access to our credit card. And that was that we scary the most thing, because we're doing some deployment on the public clouds, and we don't want to have bugs, something like someone misclick, and we should create, for example, for the jobs 10 virtual machine, but we create 1,000. It's only 2 zeros, yes? So it could happen. So that's why we work a lot of creating our pipelines. And today I will talk a little bit about some tips we have after such work we done about this CI, introducing to the public cloud. So I will start with the limits. So there is no limits budget on any public clouds, as far as I know. There is only alerts. It's really sad, but what you can do. So you just create alerts, but when something breaks, it just like you get only alerts that probably, there is probably only one limit. It limits your credit card connected to your public cloud. That's why it's kind of, it could be helpful, these alerts, but it's never stop you. If, for example, the worst case scenario, in this, you just lost your credential, and someone creates a lot of virtual machine on your account. Probably, you know, this happens a lot of. Like, you can read about something like that cases in internet, and I will talk a little bit more about that. So, limits. Of course, there are no limits on the budget, but there are limits on the resources. And we take a little bit advantage of that. So we create some limits, and of course you can create the limits that you can afford in your project. So you create, I don't know, 100,000 EC2. And you know, this is affordable for your company, for your clients, or something like that. And even something break, you don't cross the magic number of your budget, because you can, of course, you can just calculate what is the cost of the maximum of your limits. So this is one of the tips you should know about. Like, don't use these limits. Problem with these limits is that sometimes you can only increase them. It's quite funny, but some clouds only allow you to increase limits, don't decrease. So this is a little bit sad. So you need to think about that. Of course, your ops team can create some alerts. I mean, alerts when you have, for example, you have limits for 100 EC2, 100 Google engine machines, and you can create some alerts that you almost reach the limits, and you just like take a call. You get the call. You know there is something wrong with your code. Or someone took your account, took your key credential, something like that, and you need to go there, fix it, or remove, destroy. Other thing is you should have something like shutdown process. Probably you almost never use it, but if there will be some issue that you need to use it, it will be very helpful. Like removing one resource one by one takes a lot of time, but if you have something like destroy your account for your CI, for your development part or something like that, you can just easily remove the account, and there is no problem, there is no issue, and then you can just remove the resources from your cloud. Other thing is you should like create the job limits in your CI system. That, you know, like if there will be some bugs in your CI system, and someone by accident create like 10,000 jobs, and every jobs create few machines, they really rich, explode everything, explode the budget. It could happen, of course. When it happens, it's always happen Friday in the evening, because it's always happen in the Friday evening. Credential. This is like different stuff. So, of course, you should use different account for your CI system, for developer, for the root, of course, and you should never share your root credential. Details permission. This is like your one account should have only 2 resources that there are need. For example, if your CI system needs to create VPC and machines, it should have only access to VPC and machine. Never more, because there is always someone can take your account, your credential from your CI, from your machine, from the CI system or something like that, and create some resources in the background, and you never know, because who use AI in the public clouds? No one. Everyone just uses servers. Rotation process. You should always have something like rotation process, like removing the account for CI, removing it for development, and doing it 1 per month, 1 maybe more, or something like that. And of course, use environment variables. I like this picture because I try to find how should look picture of environments, and I just only figure out it should be leaf. I don't know. It's kind of environment. And in the end of, you should use some, and you should hide your credential in some encrypted form. I'm the same like the Choleva. I'm the fanboy of the Vault, and Vault was very good for us because Vault allow you to create temporary credential. So you give him access, give him a credential to create that allow create the new account, and they are integrated with any most popular public cloud, and they can create a temporary credential for your CI account. For example, when you run jobs, you just call the Vault create credential for you, and you just use it for half an hour, and in the end, even if you just lose these keys or credential, it doesn't work anymore. And it's very good because sometimes you just like collect some artifacts and you can by accident push them with the credential from your jobs. But when you use Vault and temporary credential, it doesn't matter. So use Vault or some kind different option, but as far as I know, there is Vault and etc. Nothing more. Cloud clean cloud. So no one likes ghost resources. So we have a lot of problem with that when we're doing a lot of development. So there is some conversation on our chat, and the conversation was that who kills Kate in Paris? And there was like, and I tell, yeah, I'm killed the Kate in the Paris. And a lot of people who doesn't know how it's work, they're just laughing. And problem was that we always use some different names for our builds, like Kate, Marek, Tomasz, something like that. And it's always funny if someone kills on Paris, in the London, or in the Dublin, or in the different region. So that's why it's good to have like using, for example, resource group. They can easily just remove the each resources for one build, more builds, or something like that. If you cannot use resource group, you can always use a library stack. It's always good to have that, because in the end of, if you're trying to clean your clouds, you can just find it. If there is some owner, it's something for you. Normally, it's always one account for few people or for few teams, and there is a lot of resources. And sometimes there is problem with the ghost resources. So that's why you should have something like cron jobs that clean every day or every few hours. Check if check every resources, if there is still running some job. If not, just remove the resources, or if there's some, I don't know, label, don't remove it, or something like that. There is something POC for client or something like that. And after these few tips, we create some generic, basic pipeline. And we create something like this. It's very basic because it's really different for different CI system. And we use it like this. We just like we need to credential. We call this is like calling DB, but it's normally just Vault, like key value storage with the encrypted credential. Then we send the credential to the CI system. CI system, of course, call the Cloud API, generate resources. We do deployment, run test, remove the resources. And of course, there is some cron job that cleaning clouds every few hours, every every day or something like that. It's almost all from this presentation, but that was a presentation for 10 few minutes, but they told me there need to be like half an hour at least. That's why I create some bonus, because like talking about some practice general things is just it's kind of boring. So I decided to make some example, some experiments. So probably knows that some people sometimes push their credential to AWS. And there is a lot of that stories internet. So that's why I decided to check it, what happened. So first of all, don't do that in your account. And don't do that just because my company is very angry at me. I create these slides. And they told me there will be every slides I need to don't do that, so don't do that. So what I did, I create user without any permission, just like empty user. So it's quite funny because I always just ask you, do you really need that user? And I say yes, I need that. Then I create repository. And I push the AWS, and I call it like AWS honeypot. It's kind of honeypot, but not exactly. And of course, I write this is honeypot experiment. If someone just want to open my GitHub and check if I'm good programmer or not. So now I'm just deleted because it's really look bad on your account GitHub. If you have like credential. When you publish your credential. And then I just wait. I just go for the coffee. And I didn't get the coffee because something happened. Yes, and there are 3 persons in that experiment. There are good, bad, and support. So start from the support. So first of all, in few seconds, you get issue on your account, AWS. They create issue. So that's fine. They just like catch it. You can check. They have link what they scanning, and they scan really fast. So they create issue. After I get mail with the tips, what should I do now? And after 2 minutes before the coffee was ready, I just get the call from the support. And yeah, and just like the call was kind of funny because just like, yes, and just like, calm down. Something happened with your account. Probably someone pushed your, and yes, I did. Yeah, just like, calm down. Calm down. And just like, go to your laptop and just, yeah, I know. Just like, go to your laptop. Just like, and now like, you are Paweł, and just like they checking if you are you, and something like that. Then you just like, now you get the email. Please tell me the number. And okay, you are you. So please remove the user, change your password. Just like sitting, okay. This was quite funny. It takes like 15 minutes. So another person with this story, it's good guy. It's Git Garden. It's like kind of funny because they scrapping GitHub and looking for the API. I just like, there's something wrong with your account. Can you check it and hire us? Yeah, something like that. Just buy our stuff. It's like the best promotion day. I think I really like it. It's just really good kind of marketing, yes? If something goes wrong, someone just, like guys from the CTF, they always call like, if you want to work for us, just like put your CV on our desktop. And if you put CV on the desktop, probably you just get hired. So, and in end of we meet the bad guys. So I just opened CloudTrail. It's just like, I just want to see what's happening on the AWS when you just publish your credential. And of course, you shouldn't do that because I need to say it a few times, at least. So this is logs from the cloud trail. If you see there is a first action on the user without permission, it's like creating user and deleting user. Of course, you don't see almost anything. It's just like information they're trying to do. There is some source IP address. It's public, that's why I hired it. But it's from some totally logic company in some country that are good on recognizing person face. And when you see the time of this log, there's like 10 minutes. And when you see, yes, here, they're telling like, they push like 8. So it's like 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes. So after 2 minutes, there is some first action, yes? It's quite, if you're thinking that you just push it and you remove it really fast and push with the force, probably you still need to remove this account really fast. So they try to create user, then delete user. Probably they want to delete this create user and delete this user, or trying to create some root user. They couldn't, so they trying to do something different. So they tried to create default VPC. They tried to create default VPC because I don't have any default VPC on my AWS account. So it's quite good from them. It's like, because I don't have it, it would be good to have it. After that, they tried to create some virtual machine. Yes, it's there is almost any information. You can check only what the size of the virtual machine. So they try to create the smallest one, and a little bit bigger, and bigger, and almost every option they have. And they couldn't, but they tried like at least 10 minutes trying to create 100 or maybe more virtual machine. So this is end of my presentation. I want to have something more about that, because I think it would be good to create some experiment that how long it takes, what the public places bot scrolling. For example, how fast they're scrolling the GitHub, GitLab, something like that. And it will be really good to have some such that metrics. But problem is that getting every few, if I create some script like the create account, create the repository, push something to repository, and you can of course make it like 100 in few seconds, such option using any cloud API, but there will be a lot of calls from the support. So, and imagine that this talk with the support, like they calling just like after 10 calls, just like, come on, just stop. Just like because we create anytime issue, we need to call every time, just like, yes, Paweł, just like every time, just like, yes, I remove it, I change my password. And every time, and just like, it could be quite funny, but probably they will lose temperature for me. So that's all. And if you have some questions, just ask me. If not, just we hiring.
My question is about the image, because I saw that all the attempts to create a machine use the same image. Did you try maybe figure out?
Yes,
what's
it's. I think it was. I'm not sure if it's Ubuntu. We're talking about it's Ubuntu 60. Yes, it's the other thing we want to do. It was like open the gate for the one instance and check what the code is, because if they create on my account, I can just log there, probably using some cloud option to SSH there and check the code. But problem is that you cannot decrease your limits on your account. because I want to decrease limits to 1 and just allow the open one instance, the smallest one, the free tier one, and just open some and try to be miner, Bitcoin miner. But I don't offer me to like open 100 instance to check the codes from this bots. There's another question. Yes?
So you said that you're using Vault for the pipeline to store the credentials. And how do you authenticate to Vault in first place?
I think I'm not sure how works is now, but I think you can create some like token to it, or there is option like, of course, you can allow some resources to access to the Vault. But with this, it's work for the close code, but you still need to use it. But I talked with the guys from the they working of the network service mesh and other stuff with the Kubernetes about this talk, because I have this talk before KubeCon on Barcelona, and they told me they have the same problem, because they doing a lot of stuff and they need to test it in the public cloud. They have some foundation for the testing on the cloud, but problem is that if it's open source, no one, someone can create pull requests and it go through to the CI system, you can put almost any code, there. So you need to like some code just like cut that HWS and just take the credential and just use the different accounts. So they have the same problem, and I think there is still a gap about that. So it's if you use some CI in the public cloud and you have set up CI in the public cloud, you can give access this one virtual machine with the CI that have access to some part of EC2. It's kind of will be working, could work, but there is some other problems. With this credential, it's always problematic.